All right, so I have a gentleman that wants to order an American flag with the eagle in it for carbon fiber. Haven't done a video on carbon fiber yet, so I'm gonna do one of those and show you. So I don't have any 12-inch rolls of carbon fiber, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut some off this larger roll here. First thing I want to do, this cut is pretty uneven down here at the bottom. So I'm gonna go ahead and straighten that out. Just cut a piece off here. Just get rid of that. Now the next thing I want to do, I need about 9 inches by 24, which this is already 24 inches long. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark this to about right there. I always go over just a tiny bit. Okay, so I'm gonna put my mark on the ruler, then I'm gonna line up the edge of it with the line on the cutting mat. Perfect, okay. All right, there is my, let's see. Yeah, so we got about 9 3/8 of carbon fiber. And then this will go on my cutting mat. So yesterday I bought this pack of cutting mats, 24-inch size from Amazon. And they are by ReArt. Haven't tried them out yet. But you get a 6-pack for like, well, I believe it was like 30 bucks. So I want to try one out. Alright, so let's get rid of this film here. Now, I always keep that film when I'm not using the cutting mat. I'll just put it right back on there. Okay, so next thing we want to do is put this on here. I'll line up the top corner, the bottom corner. Okay, that vinyl is a little bit longer than 24 inches. I don't know why I thought it was 24, but okay. Let's go ahead and press that down. I have a roller that I use with my when I put my vinyl on a cutting mat, I kind of use a roller like this. When it's a brand new one, it's not as important, but as it gets used, you want to do that for sure. Now this kind of overhangs down here. That's fine on the bottom. That's no problem. Normally, like up here on top, you don't want it overhanging. I've just had it jam up in the Cameo rollers. Alright, we'll get this started and then I'll show you the weeding. This design has a lot, in fact here's some that's already cut in the blue. You can't see it yet, but there is a lot of little details. So carbon fiber, we'll give that a try and see how it goes. Alright, so here is my job in my Cameo. Now I've already got it rotated. I've got a weed line cut around it. Well, for the cut around it. That just helps a little bit. So we're going to make 2 of these. So I've got a 24-inch work surface here. But over here I need to change that. So I'm going to go to 12 by 24. Now I do know that my vinyl itself is, what did I say, 9 3/8. You could go over here and change your width to 9.3. Now see how that cut that, you know, left that space? Well, over here is negative space. So now we want to go ahead and take that and grab the replicate. We'll open the replicate panel and go ahead and add one more. Another thing you could have done is grab your job, hold Alt, and just drag one. Let go of your mouse first, not Alt. On an Illustrator, if you let go of Alt first, it'll just drag the job and not copy it. All right, but there's that. So next thing I do, I have my setting set at, I have a setting up here, I call it Oracle Custom. On this dial I have 3 for force, 11, speed 5. This carbon fiber is a little bit thicker. I'm trying to remember, I have 2 different carbon fibers and one of them is just a nightmare to cut through. Has kind of a plastic film up on top of it also. You got to remember to take that off. It's kind of like rubber. And I'm pretty sure I don't have that one set up. So I'm going to go ahead and send this job the way, well actually I'm going to turn up my force up to 12. And then I'll send it through. Okay, so that's cutting. And then we'll check it out when it's done and do some weeding. So this is the same design as that carbon fiber. It's the eagle head on black Oracle vinyl. So while that eagle head is cutting, I'm gonna go ahead and show you. I always start with the stars on these type of things, these flag designs. I can't stand going from the larger to smaller pieces when I'm weeding. I don't know why, but no, I always add that weed border around the whole job. See how that's coming right up? But with this particular design, I don't necessarily want to start with that. And I didn't add all my little weeding lines everywhere like I normally do. So I kind of have to do this one a little carefully. And I don't know if you noticed, but I'll kind of cut in certain places as I go. You don't want to end up with too much in your hand as you're going, because that can be a real disaster if you're not careful and if you're not experienced. Let's see how I got all this vinyl with this. So I'll take it and just stick it down somewhere on my cutting mat, just that way it doesn't fall over here. Or you can just come over here and just cut it right off. Okay. So as I'm going, sometimes I'll wiggle it a little bit. Okay, so there's the outside border of that design. We'll finish off these stars. It's already coming to life. Now this particular piece has a lot of small parts inside of it, so gotta be really extra careful when I'm pulling it apart. You can mess up real easy, and little pieces like that one in the beak, that one I wouldn't worry. I would want to keep, but some of them I don't worry about as much. If you lose one here and there, it's probably okay, but you don't want to keep that mentality, because you might have a job that requires a lot of precision, which you need. You know, just keep the habit of, you know, if you cut it that way, that's how you want to weed it. Alright, I'm going to just kind of weed here, try to talk about things. This particular job actually, I can't remember where I got the file. I think I just grabbed it off online, but all these little hairline pieces, there's just a ton of them, and I'll show you what I did to make it easier. Like this piece, these two pieces here, I connected them, then I connected them there. I connected these together. This one connected to that one. So I just connected a lot of them, because when you're weeding, if it's a harder vinyl, you're going to be just picking at this thing for hours. With that version, I had a customer one time buy like 6 of them, and they're actually smaller than these. And the smaller it is, the harder it is. With these feather points here, I always grab the tip and pull towards me. Now see that one there? I'm going to cut that. But watch how I pick this up right here on the corner, and then I pull towards me. See how that just comes right out? I don't know what it is about black Oracle vinyl, but this is my favorite vinyl to weed, because everything just comes off really smooth. Beautiful, beautiful. See that? Alright. Really easy. Now, I wanted to show you this while that carbon fiber's cutting. See how easy this is going? Now watch when I do that carbon fiber. It's either going to be just as easy or it's going to just make me want to rip my hair out. Now if you kind of rock it back and forth too, see how that's working without taking off unnecessary or unwanted pieces you want to stay in there. That helps too. Yeah, it's all done. See how fast that went? Like I said, a lot of these little pieces weren't connected when I first got the design, so I went through and just put them all together and made it that fast. Now over here I created a whole nother, I was kind of on an eagle flag kick, so I made a different design entirely with another eagle head, and I will show you. Let me just weed it. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and just speed up the camera and stop flapping. Okay, so there's that job there. Now, first time ever running this job, so I'm going to point out a few things. Right here it's really thin, so I want to go in and edit, make that a little thicker. Right here there's a little piece hanging over. I'll just cut that off. And then right here, little piece, we'll cut that off. See that little hairline piece there? There's a lot of editing I'm going to want to do to this to make it more efficient for customers. This little piece here probably be hard to put on, but overall it's not bad. Really cool design. I definitely want to work on this piece here the most because that is really thin. I'll probably send this out with the other pieces, but I'm gonna let the customer know it's a free piece, and I want to know their opinion on it, and we'll see what they think about it from there. All right, so here's the sky blue version of the eagle. I have another one right here I got to do, but the purpose of this video is to show you the carbon fiber. So this is my that new cutting mat, my carbon fiber. Best thing to get these off, lay it down with the vinyl facing down. Just kind of hold on to the vinyl and roll back your mat. If you try to pull the vinyl off the top, it's going to just bend the hell out of it. Okay, next thing I want to do is, now I have two of these designs on here. Got to kind of use the light. In fact, I'll show you. There is a border right here. Separates the two. See, that's where my actual design is, inside here. This is the vinyl cutter that the carbon fiber vinyl that I like. I have another version of it, and it's just awful. It's awful for these small stickers. One thing about this carbon fiber though, it might seem like a nightmare. It's actually really nice to weed. So we're gonna go ahead and just get cracking. It will beat the hell out of your knife. Here, I'm gonna go ahead and, instead of starting with the stars, just kind of give it a little bounce. Now, it does tear very easy, so don't go too fast with this one. Just kind of break it off from the separate little pieces. Now, if you notice, I kind of use the glare from the light to kind of see where I'm going. Over here on the end of the flag, there's those really tattered pieces, so they can break real easy. So I'm gonna go ahead and just slice them. Okay. Let's see how that piece of that flag wants to come up over here. Now there. Cut that. Sometimes individual little pieces, it's better to come at a different angle. Alright, so where are we at here? That one. Now I got this other little tool that I use. This little it's almost like a tool for doing clay, metal works, things like that. Sorry, I'm trying to explain things while not trying to screw this up. See how I use my scissors there? Sometimes I'll grab those instead of the knife. Let's see, grab that one. When I said this is easier to weed, I am still convinced of that, but it's also very easy to ruin if you're not careful. Now right here on this part of the flag where it's, what I did there, I pulled it away from me and kind of rocked it like that to break it off. I hope you can see that. Okay. Just give it a little bounce. And right here, I'm gonna just kind of cut it till it pops. See? Bounce it a little. If you got a good cut, you're gonna get a good weed. Now the flag down here on the corner of this flag, right there, it was trying to stay down. Now I want to take the back of that flag separate, so I'm gonna cut that there. And I'm gonna go over here and cut it. Some of these parts on the flag have, see how that star kind of comes in? If you pull that too fast, that's gonna rip and mess it up. Okay. There we go. Same thing here as the other one. Grab the tip of these feathers, pick it up and then pull it towards you. See how, it just pulls it right off of all those hairlines. See how those are all coming up real nice. sometimes when I weed, I'll get going really fast and I'll mess up a job. But the more you do, the quicker you get. But there are times when you definitely don't want to, even if you're really fast, you don't want to go fast. I don't know why I got this Johnny Cash song stuck in my head. Has nothing to do with what I'm doing here, but just thought I'd share that. Alright, so that piece there, there's a piece that wants to, that's in the middle of this one that wants to come up with it. So I'm gonna get my little tool here. Okay, I think that's it. Wow, that was a little harder than I remember on this one. Okay, but there's the carbon fiber. Like I said, it is easier to weed. Just this particular design, there's a lot of detail and it just made it seem a lot harder. But that's it, man. They look pretty cool. One thing I will say is customers that buy these, on occasion I do get people that don't know how to install. I get complaints that it won't come up off the transfer tape. There are little tricks, you know, to every vinyl decal. It could have a lot to do with the weather, the temperature of the surface. I mean, make sure if you're installing, you have somebody that's experienced if you don't know exactly what to do if you run into problems. But I tend to have to replace a lot of these because of that reason. That's it. I'm gonna go ahead and tape it up. I think for this I'll use a medium tack clear Enduragloss transfer tape. You always want to check your job, make sure you didn't miss anything. You don't want to tape it up and then realize like, oh shit, or crap, there's something left over in there. I did that once and I sent it to the customer, but I realized that I left it there. So I just made him a whole new one and I sent him the one with the piece because it was just too hard to get up. And I told him, here's a free one, but when you put it on, you're gonna have to pick this piece out. Well, they still went ahead and left me bad feedback, said I sent them a defective piece, but it was free. I mean, they could have just threw it in the garbage. So you also want to be careful with the clientele because, I don't know, there's just people out there that no matter what you do, it's never never, you know, right, I guess, but the trade-off is for every horrible customer, there's probably 10 times more that are awesome. I wouldn't do this if it was like that for every job. But there you go, there it is. All done. And I did miss a piece on here. And I just got done saying check everything, right? Right there. So I'm glad this is still running because I want to show you how to get that out. Okay. Make sure your transfer mask is on there tight enough where it's going to pick up the job. Now see how that's not coming up? Just kind of do that with your fingers. See that? And that's what that customer was probably dealing with that complained about it. But you just got to kind of do this, and this is why you always check everything. I just put my own foot in my mouth, you know. But hey, we all make mistakes. I think the better part of making mistakes is admitting them, you know. Admitting them and correcting. Well, that piece there is a little stubborn. Okay, probably good enough right there. Okay. So then you got to come in from the back. I'll kind of just grab it with the knife. Oh my God, this shit is a pain in my ass. Generally, this isn't this hard to remove a piece. That's what I had to do though. I had to just come up from the back, kind of pick at it. It's not that hard. This carbon fiber, I keep saying it's easier than other vinyl. It really is. But I will admit, when you have a lot of detail like this job, it is not. It's just how it is. Now, for my laminate roller, what I usually do too, make sure it's really tight. I'll just take the vinyl job, stick it in my laminate roller, roll it through, and you know it's evenly pressed onto the decal. But that's that one. Hope the video wasn't too long and boring.